Education. It is one of the most valued things in America and will continue to be valued for years to come. However, education has not always been this important in the past. Before the colonial era, education was passed on through oral tradition by Native Americans. Their teachings consisted of survival tactics, spiritual customs, and character-building methods. Subjects like mathematics, literature, and science would not be emphasized until several years later. Learning was looked at as the passing along of information from one's ancestors. The actual desire to be educated began through the establishment of Harvard University. Harvard implanted the seed of education in America. At over 375 years old, Harvard University is the oldest institution of higher learning in the United States. Harvard University not only holds the title as the first college of the colonies, but they also pioneered the idea that education could transform the future of America. In 1636, New College was founded in Cambridge, Massachusetts. This was the original name of the college before its name officially changed to Harvard University in 1638. The college was renamed this after John Harvard died and donated his library and half of his estate to the school. In 1642, Harvard's first class of only 9 students graduated. Then in 1650, Harvard was given a corporate charter by the Great and General Court of Massachusetts. As time progressed, the success of Harvard grew, and in 1776, 8 Harvard alumni signed the Declaration of Independence. Then in 1873, Harvard began their newspaper, the Harvard Crimson. A few years later, in 1879, Harvard Annex, also known as Radcliffe College, was established. Radcliffe College was the women's liberal arts college that coordinated with Harvard. Later in 1903, Harvard Stadium was built. As the 1900s continued, Harvard University further developed. In 1963, Radcliffe College started to award joint Harvard-Radcliffe diplomas. Then in 1969, Harvard's University Hall protests about military contracts. Later, Harvard and Radcliffe officially merged in 1977. In 1998, Harvard's Museum of Natural History was established. A few years later, Facebook was launched at Harvard with the help of Mark Zuckerberg in 2004. Then in 2007, Drew Gilpin Faust becomes Harvard's 28th president. And lastly, in 2008, Harvard's endowment reaches a record $37.2 billion. John Harvard was born in November of 1607 in London, England. In 1636, he married Anne Sadler and then moved to Charlestown, Massachusetts. John Harvard lived a short life of only 31 years, dying from tuberculosis in 1638. He is most remembered for his generous donations toward the college. He gave £799, equivalent to about $1,200, half of his estate, and 400 books for the school's library. John Harvard made this donation because of his close friend Nathaniel Eaton's dream of higher education in the New World. John Harvard's legacy gift could have been inexistent if he and Nathaniel did not share such a close bond. When Harvard was first established, a creed was written to explain the goals of the university. Here's what the creed stated. I am Harvard. All men know my fame and outward aspect, but my sons alone know my heart. Not from narrow confines do my sons come to me. They make their way from the East, where I have grown from small beginnings nearly 3 centuries ago, side by side with the growth of a nation, and as an integral part of its faith and striving. They make their way from the West, where vigorous American manhood, with its face to the setting sun, hewed out with an empire and established the fighting spirit of truth throughout the great land. They come to me from the South and the North, from every farm and village and city, where clean-hearted, clear-eyed boys have turned toward me as the mother of colleges, the great teacher of opportunities grasped and dreams come true. They are the builders who have made me great. And on what foundation stones, think you, have they built? On money? On family tradition? They have wrought with materials more eternal. They have laid my foundations on faith, on eternal visions of fair dealing, and fashioned my greatness with red-blooded manhood and shoulder-to-shoulder contact with their fellow men. Where the call of conflict is, there will my sons be found. Where victories are won, my sons will be triumphant. And where great causes for a time go crashing to defeat, my sons will take their medicine like men. But the truth that burns their hearts can never die. Because the war was fought for right, I gave unsparingly of my sons and my resources. And not until the last great battle of freedom and justice is fought shall my task be complete. I ask no man for money. I do my work with eyes upon the eternal stars and my feet upon the grim realities of American life and the problems and dreams of its vital and human men and women. But as truth will endure, so shall the vision of the sons of Harvard endure. As they are strong, so shall I be strong. For I am Harvard, the mother of colleges, the home of truth, the dwelling place of men. Harvard will see it through. There are several famous alumni that graduated from Harvard. Some of those people include John Hancock, John Adams, John Quincy Adams, Rutherford B. Hayes, Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, Al Gore, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Henry David Thoreau, Ralph Waldo Emerson, E. E. Cummings, Yo-Yo Ma, Conan O'Brien, Natalie Portman, Matt Damon, and several foreign presidents. Harvard has experienced great success throughout history, which led it to be the world-leading academic institution it is today. It currently has over 20,000 students and has greater than 360,000 alumni worldwide. The tuition to attend Harvard University is about $36,000. Harvard's library now has about 17 million volumes. The campus of Harvard University stretches over 5,076 acres. The university has grown so much since its beginning in 1636 and will continue on its path of excellence for several years to come. According to many people, Harvard University is just another prestigious college, comparable to Princeton or Yale. But Harvard is much more than that. The establishment of Harvard University marks a turning point in history. Harvard transformed education for all of America. Education prior to the commencement of Harvard included domestic teachings aimed at achieving the skills necessary for survival. Now there are endless subjects to be learned. Education, with the help of Harvard, is something that is valued. And with this high importance on learning, the future is looking bright for America. But it all started with Harvard University, who pioneered the idea that education could change America for the better.